What is up, you guys? This is I am Super Sega Ultra 1997 here, and I thought I'd do episode 2 of anime recommendations. And I thought, why not for today's episode of anime recommendations, episode 2, I do no other than, of course, another Yoshihiro Tagashi series, Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, I'm not really gonna explain the story because I know I'm gonna probably screw it up in some way, but all I'm gonna tell you is Yu Yu Hakusho released the anime at least released in or at least first aired in Japan in 1992, but not very many people know this. But Yu Yu Hakusho actually aired on Adult Swim first in 2001. It wasn't until 2002 that the show aired on Cartoon Network's Toonami, of course, with a lot more restrictions than Adult Swim. Being that Cartoon Network was a kids channel, and it still is to this very day, obviously. Um, okay, I'm gonna give you my little backstory with Yu Yu Hakusho. Um, let's go back to the year. Let's go back. Let's even go back even further than 2018. Let's go back to. I want to say let's go back to 2011, 2012, around that timeline. I was just this like 14, 15-year-old kid in high school. I used to watch a guy by the name of Peter Amos, or as he used to go by, Lord Byakuo. Of course, judging by his name, he was a huge fan of this anime. And at the time, when I saw his videos, when I used to see his vlogs and stuff like that, he used to do like vlogs on his childhood, on about what he did, about what he does on the holidays, about what are his favorite video games, anime, manga, shows, or whatever you can think of at the time. He talked about it, and he mentioned, like, I believe one of his favorite animes, other than Dragon Ball Z and Rama One Half, was of course Yu Yu Hakusho. Of course, every time he would talk about it, I would always think to myself, I've never seen it before. Definitely want to check it out. It took me a while to watch this series, but it wasn't until around, I want to say, around maybe August or September of 2018. So roughly around 3 years ago, I would say, was I actually got around to watching Yu Yu Hakusho. But I started watching it on Tubi. So I watched a few episodes on Tubi, and I watched the first few episodes. When I watched the first few episodes, I'm not gonna lie, as much as I love Yu Yu Hakusho, uh, eventually, as much as I love this show, I will have to admit the first couple episodes were kind of boring. I ain't gonna lie, the first couple episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho were kind of boring. But then I watched a couple more episodes until we got to the Four Holy Beast story arc. Was when I was like, damn, man, that shit got good. That shit got really good, really quick when it got to the Four Holy Beasts story arc. And um and of course, just watching those episodes alone from that arc made me realize, damn, this is actually a very good anime, a very very good anime. Of course, I grown to love it. Then came season two. I only watched when season two came around. I was done with season one. Then there was season two. For some reason, when I started watching season two on Tubi, only watched like maybe a little bit of episodes, and I took a 2 year break with this. I took a 2 year hiatus with Yu Yu Hakusho. That was until like September or October of last year when I started to rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho again. When I started rewatching it when we got to the Dark Tournament arc, when I started rewatching what I watched of season two, and also the episodes I didn't watch, I was like, God damn, that shit's really good. Good. In my opinion, the Dark Tournament arc has to be my favorite arc of both the anime and the manga. And of course, I don't think some of you know this, but I actually let me put them away real quick. Not many of you guys. I don't think many of you guys know this, but I actually own. Let me see if I can get them. Let me see if I can get all of them in this one shot. And of course, if you see my pickup video, you would see that I own the entire complete set of the manga, and of course, I own the complete set of the manga, and the manga was pretty good. I like the manga. I read some volumes of the manga. I read all of it. I've read all of it in their entirety. And I gotta say, the manga was pretty good. Yeah, people like to argue that the anime was better, but the manga was still pretty good. The manga was still pretty good. And all I gotta say, man, Yu Yu Hakusho, a brilliant show. And of course, when it also comes, also while we're on topic of the anime, speaking of which, a lot of people like to say that the that the that the anime, the English dub was actually pretty good, and I do plan on rewatching this again in the near future, but I'm gonna watch it English dubbed this time because the English dub I heard was really amazing for dubbed, so I'm definitely gonna rewatch it again. And of course, after Yu Yu Hakusho concluded, the manga, after Yoshihiro Tagashi was done with the series, a little fun fact about that. Originally, Yoshihiro Tagashi wanted to end things off literally right after, or the Shinobu Sensui arc concluded in the manga. But of course, it went on for like maybe 3 or 4 more volumes until it concluded in 1994, the manga, and then the anime also followed soon after in '95, January of '95, if I can recall. That was when the last episode of the series actually aired, and then of course, literally right after that, of course, yeah, as you can see, I have volume 19. Of course, right after Yu Yu Hakusho came Yoshihiro Tagashi's next hit, of course, none other than Hunter x Hunter. At the time of this video, I actually owned only 4 volumes of the manga of Hunter x Hunter. And speaking of which I'm gonna bring up Hunter x Hunter again. Another reason why I'm bringing Hunter x Hunter again, I'm bringing that up, is because due to the years of Yoshihiro Tagashi working on Yu Yu Hakusho, because the reason why Yoshihiro Tagashi is next series Hunter x Hunter is notorious for being on hiatus was because of the years he worked on doing Yu Yu Hakusho. As you know, like literally right after or during when he was making that series, the manga, he had little to no breaks at all with the manga. Little to no breaks at all like 7 hours shift and stuff like that, and as a result for that alone ended up becoming the reason why Hunter x Hunter is on hiatus, is notorious for being on hiatus. By the way, I'm a fan of the 2011 anime. And speaking of which, next year, there's gonna be a new Hunter x Hunter anime. It's not going to continue off from the 2011 anime. No, it's going to be a brand new anime once again, which basically they're going to basically do the same thing again from, the beginning all the way up to the Chimera arc, but the Chimera Ant arc, but only this time after they're done with the Chimera Ant arc, they're going to adapt all the way up until the newest arc in the manga, which is the Dark Continent arc. The Dark Continent arc, and and of course the Dark Continent arc. I hear a lot of good things about it, but unfortunately, I own only 4 volumes of the manga of Hunter x Hunter, and at the time of making this video, I have not read up to that arc yet. But I heard that arc, a lot of crazy shit goes down so much that there's even Chimera ants in that arc that are even more powerful than Miriam. If you don't know who Miriam is, he's basically the Bug King guy. And that's what I used to call him, the Bug King guy. So yeah, him. He's basically the bug guy with the stinger who thinks who's born to be king, or he sees himself that way in the beginning, but then later on he starts becoming more and more human. And when he meets this Gumby girl, I believe I forget what her name is, but once he meets her, he starts calming down from that attitude, and he starts becoming more human on the inside. Which, by the way, when he fucking died, oh my god, I felt sad. But I know I'm getting off topic right now with Hunter x Hunter. But back to Yu Yu Hakusho. In conclusion, in conclusion, and if you want to talk about one of the best animes from the 90s, in my personal opinion, along with Dragon Ball Z, this has to be my number three favorite anime of all time. Such great characters, great storyline, um, fascinating villains. In fact, my favorite villain in the anime, throughout the anime, has to be Shinobu Sensui. Of course, when Yusuke fought Shinobu Sensui, I was like, holy shit, it got good. So this is actually one of those animes where it's a trust the process kind of thing. And as the season starts, as it starts getting closer and closer to each season, with seasons 1 through 4, with each passing episode, the art style kind of changes a little bit. With each passing episode. In fact, I believe I want to say season 3 had like the best animation out of all of them, in my personal opinion. I feel like season 3's animation was the best, in my opinion. So once again, in conclusion, do I recommend Yu Yu Hakusho? Fuck yeah, I do. I recommend Yu Yu Hakusho big time, big fucking time. My rating for Yu Yu Hakusho, I want to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to give this anime high ratings. I just love this damn anime. Well, anyways, you guys, this has been Super Sega Ultra 1997 here signing out, and I'll see you on my next video, my next couple videos. Peace.